Hey guys, welcome to Satya's Neural Lab. Today we're going to talk about data visualization, specifically geospatial analysis. So before we get into geospatial analysis, let's look into the five main types of data visualization. So the first one we have is geospatial analysis. That's is temporal analysis, a deviation analysis, distribution analysis, and network analysis. So within the next five videos, I will cover all of these, but for right now, we're going to stick with geospatial analysis. So before we even get into data visualization, we should understand how data is made. So there are two types of data: categorical data that put things into group, and quantitative data that is all about numbers you can measure. So for categorical data, there are two types, nominal and ordinal. Nominal pretty much means they're name categories. There's no special order, no ranking, something like gender or eye color. While ordinal is where they have a clear order ranking, something like education level, economic status, satisfaction, satisfaction, satisfaction. Sorry about that. And now for quantitative or measures in Tableau. The two we have are interval and ratio. Intervals are numbers that are ordered, but they don't really have a zero, something like temperature, where 0 degrees doesn't actually mean no heat, or years like 2000, 2010, 2020, and so on. And then we have ratios, which have true 0 points. That's something like height, weight, age. You can be 0 pounds, or you can have sold zero products. So now we'll go into Tableau and we'll look at the basic functions of it. So you can get Tableau through your school, or there's usually a free trial for a few days. But when you open it up after downloading it, it should look like this. So from here, I click to a file Excel. I'm trying to get a CSV file. So I'll open up one of my CSV files and we'll take a look at that. So now that we have the CSV file, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this to just Global Superstore Orders. Next, I will put the orders table, drag the orders table to the table area, and then the people table. So after we drag the two, we see this, how do the relationships differ from joins? So we have region to region. That's pretty much saying the region on the orders table is equal to the region on the people's table. Usually Tableau will do this for you, but if not, you will have to manually figure out the relationship between each tables. That's the only way to connect them. So next we have the sheet. You go to sheet one. So first instance, this is where the data and tables are. This is called the sidebar. Then you have the data source, which you just press here. And then you have your columns and rows. And then these are the worksheet tab, dashboard, and news story tab. We're going to talk about those later. And then last and finally is the show me tab. So for right now, we want to create a bar chart. The way we do this, we go to the show me and we see, okay, horizontal bars need 0 or more dimensions and 1 or more measures. We can see the dimensions are blue and the measures are green. So from there, I will click market command and keep holding command till I get let's say product name. And then let's say we want the quantity sold. So there. And then ask it that. So that's each product. So let's say we don't want product. And just pretty much put it right there. And there we have it. Quantity and market. So the quantity is sold and the market is sold too. Let's say we want to segment it into consumer, corporate, and home office. There you go. You just drag the segment table to the rows. And let's say I want different colors for the segments. The way I would do that is I'll just drag this segment to the marks tab and put it in color. And there you have it. So next, we'll make a simple line chart for sales over time. You see, for the line chart, we need 0 or more dimensions and 1 or more measures. So because we're doing sales over time, first thing we want to click is sales. Then we want shipping. And then we'll do that. And then we'll see sales over time. And let's say we also want to know the market for that. Where should it be? The sales or the year? How is it year? So for each market, that's exactly how it'll look. Or let's say I put it down here. Like this does. Well, let's go here. And then we have our legend right here. So now we're back to the PowerPoint. So what is geospatial analysis? Geospatial analysis pretty much is making data come alive on a map. It helps us spot patterns, tie trends in real world places, and it's helpful for planning cities, understanding nature, and so much more. And when we create geospatial analysis, we use the map as just the background. Your data takes the spotlight, telling stories tied to specific places. And there are two types. There are real world maps, which show cities, countries, etc., and custom maps like floor plans or network diagrams or even fantasy worlds. Something like the Hogwarts map or the Disneyland map you see would be a custom map. So now we'll go back in Tableau and we'll start creating a geospatial map for the NBA 2024 season, specifically shooting for different players. So now we're back in Tableau. We want to go to File and create new. And it'll take some time. So now we have a new file. First thing I will do is I will connect our data and I'll go to Excel and I will get our NBA 2024 statistics. So this will take some time to load. So took me about a minute or so, a minute to 2 minutes. But once we have that, we go to our sheet one. And first thing we want to do is we'll go up to the top and go to maps. We'll go to background images and press NBA 2024 shots. Next, we'll press add image and find the half-port image on our laptop. So there it is. Next, what you'll want to do is set the first one to lock X, pretty much meaning location X, and lock Y for the second one, location Y. And from left to right, we want -25 on the left for lock X and 25 for the right on lock X. And for lock Y, we'll keep the bottom at 0 and the top will go to 47 and we'll press apply and we'll press OK. Now we have that. We'll drag lock X to columns and lock Y to rows. And then we'll make sure that instead of sum, they are in dimensions. The way I did that is I just pressed on the green thing in the columns, and then I'm changing it to dimension. And same for lock Y. So now we have that. But what do we see right now? We see them all over the place. So first thing we want to do about that is filter by player name. We'll take the player name and put it in the filters. From there, we'll press all and press OK. Then you'll right click on the player name and say show filter. And it'll show filter. From there, we'll press this little thing and say single value drop down. Okay. So now we have this. What do we see? We see the shots, but it kind of looks like the arc is facing the wrong way. So how do we change it? First thing we want to do is we'll right click on the data table and say create calculated field. We'll create this as adjusted by. The reason we're adjusting this is because it's on the opposite side. We want to invert it. The way we do that is, you remember that 47 on the Y? So we'll do 47 minus log Y and we'll apply. So from there, we'll take this log Y out and put the new adjusted Y in and change it to dimension. And now you see the background is no longer there. So what we have to do is we got to go back to maps, go to background images, and change it from a lock Y to adjusted Y. Okay, and there you have it, where AJ Lawson shoots from. Now, let's say we want to know the amounts of shots made. You would think, just put it in here, and it would be true, false. But instead of that, what we'll do is we'll create another calculated field. We'll call this number shot made. So from there, we'll create a if statement. So first thing we'll have is a if. If shot made equals true, then what else? Yeah. Pretty much what this will do is instead of true or false, it'll create a one or a zero system. And then we always have to remember the end. So, okay. From there, we'll take the number of shot made and put it in color. And we'll go average. Next thing we have to do is do that. And we're just counting the amount of shots. One, two, the bigger the circle, the larger the shots. And one thing we'll do is right now they're open circles. We'll just click on shape and make them closed. We see right here, right by the rim, we have average number count of shots was 8 and average number of shots made was 0.75. So next, last thing we'll do is we'll change this. We'll press edit colors and we'll go NBA colors or NBA 2K is usually red and green. So we'll go red to green diverging. Red meaning good, and red meaning bad, green meaning good. And there we have it. And we can just change it to anyone we want. Let's say staff. There you have it. You see how his changed a lot more than the average. Shots all over the place, so forth and so forth. So this is pretty much what a geospatial analysis is. Just for fun, let's do LeBron James. There we go. But yeah, this is what geospatial analysis is. You can use it however you please, but this is at least a little mini project that you can do in your free time to just learn a little bit about Tableau and a little bit more about data visualization. Thank you for listening.